Hello friend, I welcome you to the Doctrines of Puritans YouTube channel, where we bring you the short messages of holiness preachers. Please like, subscribe, comment and share so that sinners can be saved, backsliders will be restored and believers are edified. The coming of the Lord is imminent and we must all be prepared so we can meet him in the sky. Where will you spend eternity? Ponder on these things. Thank you and God bless you.
Genesis chapter 39. Reading there from verse 2. Genesis 39 verse 2. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. Well, you know the story. Eventually, the wife of that master fixed eyes on him and said, "Do this with me." His father was not there. His mother was not there. His brethren were not there. The Israelites that had a little glimpse before the law came, had a little glimpse of how a person should live, they were not there. He was alone. No church, no district, no house fellowship, no complete Bible to read, no cassette to listen to, no counselor, nobody to encourage him, nobody to pray with him as a prayer partner. And he was there 13 years without any fellow believer encouraging him in the way of the Lord. And yet the man said, "How can I do this and sin against my God?" And this woman pestered him day after day. And this young man, he had not known a woman, and biologically his body will tell him, growing older and older, he was getting near 30 years of age. But he said, "No, master will not know, all the other people will not know, daddy will not hear about it, so he will not be disappointed, nobody will know, but there is a God in heaven that is watching me, and he knows when nobody will know, I cannot do it." Think about the holiness of this man. Eventually, the woman became desperate and caught hold of him and said, "You must." And the man left his clothes in her hand and ran away. Then the woman turned around and cried out, "Hey, see, insult upon injury. This slave that they bought with money came to us here as a sweeper of the ground, as a house servant. See, he came to misuse me, mess me up. When I cried, then he ran out." If you were as deeper as you are, will you not go to the press and publish something in the press so they don't spoil your name? Holiness closed his mouth. The master came back and the wife said, "You see what you have done? You see this slave you brought in here? He wanted to mess me up. And when I cried, because I'm a faithful wife, holy, righteous wife, you know me, husband, that I will never do anything. This boy, he wanted to spoil my faithfulness and loyalty to you, my husband." The man was even so angry, he didn't ask any question, just took Joseph. And Joseph didn't complain, and Joseph didn't grumble, and Joseph didn't fight, and Joseph didn't report to anybody. And Joseph didn't say, if this is where holiness will land me, no more holiness. That God that cannot defend me at this time, no more holiness. He went to the prison. And when he was in the prison, he didn't tell the jailer, I'm innocent, I'm a good man. He just kept on walking in his way. All the lies they told about him, told against him, all the lies were there. He will not open his mouth. He will not change his character. This is holiness. This is holiness. And then they brought 2 servants there. He woke up in the morning and he saw those 2 servants. And those 2 servants were sad on their facial appearances. If you are sad, what are you sad about? I have my own cross I am carrying. I have my own burden I am bearing. I have my own problem I have not solved. If you are sad, that's your business. But no, holiness. Oh, he said, why are you sad? Why is your countenance turned down? Oh, they said, we had a dream. I had mine, he had his, and there's nobody to interpret for us. Oh, he said, does not interpretation come from God? Forget about yourself and concentrate on him. Are you suffering persecution? Have they accused you wrongfully of something you didn't do? Did somebody stand here at the pulpit and pointed at you and accused you wrongly? Are you going to drop your holiness because of that? Go and ask Joseph. Oh, he said, does not interpretation come tell me your dream? And this one told him, he had not lost the gifts of the Spirit just because of persecution, just because of imprisonment. And he gave him the interpretation. When the second fellow saw the interpretation was good, he told his dream, and although the interpretation was negative, he didn't change the negative message. He gave him the negative interpretation. And then he told the one that had the positive interpretation, remember me when it's well for you. And didn't talk about Potiphar, and didn't talk about Potiphar's wife, and didn't say, nothing they said about me you might have heard. They are just trying to spoil my name. I'm a child of God. I believe in holiness and sanctification. He didn't say that. He just said, they took me from my place and stole me away and brought me into this place. He didn't even talk about his brothers, that his brothers sold him there. If you were, you will tell stories. If you were, you will go through all the details. That I'm a good person. You will use the pulpit. You will use the press. You will use the people. You will use your friends. You will use everybody to show that you are righteous and holy. This discipline is not just. Joseph didn't do that. Just remember me when it's good for you. And that man came out. And as he came out, and he restored him to his place, and then they hanged the other man. He forgot about Joseph. Holiness. The people you do good to, not everybody will remember you. The people you help, not everybody will remember you. They have forgotten me so soon. Alright? In this world in which we're living now, goodness doesn't pay anymore. Helping people doesn't pay anymore. Sacrificing your life, your money, everything you have, and putting your life on the line, helping people, it doesn't pay anymore. I'm not going to help anybody anymore. Not Joseph. He continued in the prison like that. The time of God is the best. If that man forgot me, and I'm still here, it's because it's not the time of the Lord yet. He wasn't angry. He didn't fight God. He didn't ask any question. Why? Then, 2 years after, you understand, 2 years? 730 days. And every day that Joseph woke up, this man did not remember me. This man did not remember me. Then Pharaoh had a dream. And then the man said, when they couldn't find interpretation, I remember my fault this day. There is one of the Hebrews. He's in the prison. Then they brought him out. And as they brought him out, he shaved his head. He cleaned up. He must be his best to even serve the king of Egypt. And he told him the dream. And he gave the interpretation. And then eventually, they said, can we find anybody having an excellent spirit like this, that will be able to handle this thing? And they promoted him. And Pharaoh said, you are next to me, above Potiphar, above the wife of Potiphar. Holiness. If it were the holiness of today, no condition is, tell me, no condition is permanent. Potiphar thought, he is up there, I am down there, threw me in the prison. Here we are now, the table has turned. I am up there, Potiphar is down there. First of all, wife of Potiphar, where are you? Oh, okay, guards, lock her up. You reap what you sow. Potiphar, you didn't check up whether that story was true or not. Lock him up. Did Joseph do that? And then his brothers came to buy food. Here they came. And he knew them. They couldn't recognize him. He didn't speak in their language. He spoke in the Egyptian language with an interpreter. And while they were going, he gave them all the food they wanted. And he told the servants, put their money back into their bags. And as they got to the inn, lo and behold, as they opened their bags to give provender, feed to their animals, everyone saw their money there. Joseph. But Joseph, he was holy and wise. And the combination of holiness and wisdom is very important. So that they will come back, he delayed one of them. And so when they got back home, one of them was missing. And then, so that he will see his junior brother Benjamin, he said, that Benjamin, if you don't bring him back, you will not see my face. And eventually, you know the story. They brought Benjamin back. And he saw Benjamin. He remembered the milk of human family love. He wanted to cry. So he rushed out, went to cry, washed his face and came back. Eventually, he told all the Egyptians to go away. He said, I am your brother. I am Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. Is my father yet alive? No. Don't accuse yourself. You didn't do it. God permitted it. All things work together for good. For them that love God. To those who are called according to his purpose. Benjamin, you recognize me now? I'm your senior brother. Judah, Reuben, Simeon, Levi. How are your families now? And your children? How is daddy? Can he still walk? See this famine. Go back and get your family. I will feed you free of charge. I will not punish you. Benjamin, tell my father that his son, beloved son, is still alive. They couldn't talk. They went back home. They told their father, Joseph is still alive. He couldn't believe. And the Lord came to him in a dream. And he said, Jacob, go. I will be with you. He got there. And Jacob saw Joseph, embraced him. They wept on one another. And Jacob said, now I can die. I have seen Joseph. And Joseph never told his father, Daddy, what did they say happened to me? These my brothers were the people that sold me. He never told his father until his father died. And when his father died, they buried the father with a great mourning and lamentation. Then they came back. And all his brothers said, now, Jacob our father is dead. This Joseph, what he could not do when daddy was alive, he's going to punish us. And they all went to Joseph and said, they were prostrating. He told them many years ago, we were in the field. And we had sheep. And all the sheep bent down, lay down. And mine was standing. Are you going to reign over us? The same became fulfilled. They lay before him. And they said, your father said before he died, don't count the iniquity of your servants, anything. He said, what are you talking about? Are you still remembering that? I have forgotten that. Am I God? I will not touch you. That is holiness. If God can do it for them in days of old, what are we doing with hatred in our heart? You want to revenge. Why? Let God make us holy and righteous. Let's live like a family. And whatever Levi did, Judah did, Simon did to hurt you, you are in the prison. Why do you remember that? Forget it. Serve the Lord. Where you are going, God will take you there. Whatever they do, whatever imprisonment, that dream that God gave you many years ago, you will get there. Don't fight any man. Commit all your ways to the Lord. Rise up and let us pray. Let the Lord touch our hearts. Let the Lord make us sanctified and holy. He can do it. He did it for women and men of old. He can do it for us. He will do it. He loves you. He will do it. He's done it for other people. He will do it for you. Why are you going to hate anybody? You are a child of God. Whatever they did, they didn't understand. Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. Let him sanctify you. Let him make you holy. He will do it. Yes, he can do it. Far back in the Old Testament, before Calvary, before the cross, it was done. Now on this side of the cross, he will do it.